Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Ordinarily Beautiful. So today I'm going to be starting like I guess you would call it like a mini series or kind of like a series, and it's going to be called Makeup 101. And so basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you guys the basics of makeup, just really simple stuff that's super easy to achieve and I know that everybody can get, and I hope that you guys will be able to learn something from these videos and that they will be able to help you in all your makeup questions. So today's video is going to be all about brushes. I figured since I'm just starting this series, I should probably kind of describe to you what each brush does, what the different types between synthetic and, goat hair brushes are, and kind of like what everything is in order for you to be able to use it properly going into the future. So that is why I chose to do this video first, and so yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to teach you is the difference between natural hair brushes and synthetic hair brushes, and then there's also duo fiber brushes, which is a mix between both synthetic and natural hair. So for natural hair brushes, a lot of companies will use goat hair, but if they don't use goat hair, they'll use pony hair, so like horse hair. Oddly enough, they'll use squirrel hair, which I haven't really heard that one that often. Badger hair I've heard a little bit more. They'll use bristles, sable hair, but they'll use a variety of natural hair from animals. All animals are not harmed in this process. Let me just tell you, I have animals, and so I would not use natural hair brushes if animals were harmed in the process. But natural hair brushes are used to kind of create more of a natural look. So the brushes are very soft and they should last a very long time. They're really good quality. I have a couple that I absolutely love. They always give a flawless finish to the look and I really enjoy them. It also doesn't hold your makeup in the brush as much as synthetic hair will. Synthetic hair is processed, it's made mostly nylon, and those have a tendency to kind of hold the product in the brush more than the natural hair brushes, and they just have kind of like a rougher application of makeup to the face. However, there are definitely some times where synthetic brushes are very good to use versus a natural hair brush. A lot of the brushes that I own are synthetic and I still really love them, and I think they do a great job at what I need them to do. So then that's kind of the difference between a natural hair brush and a synthetic hair brush. And then a duo fiber is a mix between the two. The first half is like white and then the bottom half is black. Those are duo fiber brushes. The white hair is normally the natural hair and then the black hair is more of the synthetic hair, and those do a really good job kind of just blending everything out. It's a really good mix between the two if you don't want completely synthetic but you don't want completely natural hair. Those brushes are really good to look into, and I absolutely love the ones that I have. So that is kind of the lowdown on synthetic hair, natural hair, and duo fiber brushes. So let's move on to the actual brushes that I use on a day-to-day basis. The first one that I'm going to be talking about are all of my face brushes. Some of these brushes aren't specifically for the face, but I use them for the face just with the products that I have. I love the way that they apply the products on my face, and so I will show you guys the brushes that I use on my face on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so there are three main brushes that I use for my face on a day-to-day basis, and I'll also tell you guys what products I use with them and all of that good stuff. So the first one that I use is this angle. So this is an angled brush. Let me see if you guys can see it. That is an angled brush. I really enjoy this brush. This brush is from EcoTools and it is a denser brush. This is normally used for contouring. If you have like a bronzer and you just want to put it in the hollows of the cheek right here, this does a really good job of that. Any angled brush that you use is really good for contouring because it really just helps sculpt out those cheekbones and make them look really defined and beautiful. But I use this to apply concealer. So the concealer that I use is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness. I have really bad acne discoloration, and so this product has been my lifesaver, and I talked about it in my June favorites. But this is the brush that I use to apply it. I really like it. It's really good at packing on the product, and so what I do is I kind of just will stipple it in the product and kind of just dab it on my face in the areas that I need it, and it is so beautiful. This is a natural hair brush, and I absolutely love this brush. So, but angled brushes are normally used for contouring, but I use this one for my concealer. The next one that I use, this brush is talked about all over YouTube. I'm pretty sure that every beauty guru on YouTube has this brush, but this is from Sigma, and if you haven't checked out Sigma, you should go check them out. But this is a kabuki brush. So kabuki brushes are very dense. They have a lot of hair within them in a very small area. As you guys can see, this one is really, really dense. It looks like this, and it's just super dense. This is the F80. And I use this for my foundation. So I use this with a liquid foundation, and what I do is I'll put my liquid foundation on the back of my hand, and then I'll just take the brush, dab it in, and then I'll just dab it all over my face. I really love the way that this applies my makeup. A lot of people will also use a beauty blender to apply their foundation, but I like this so much. Unfortunately, this brush does have a tendency, because it is so thick, to really hold the product in the brush, especially because I'm stippling it all over my face, which is the one downside to this brush, but I really enjoy this brush. I love it. It's really great quality. This is also natural hair brush, really soft. This is also really good at buffing out makeup, so if you rub it around your face, it's really good at kind of applying a sheer amount of foundation on your face if you want that. So this is a Sigma F80 kabuki brush, and this is flat top. I love it. I use it every day. Alright, the last brush that I use for my face makeup, I should say, is this face blender from Bobbi Brown. I use this with loose powder, so what I'll do is I'll take it, I'll dab it in the powder, and then I'll take it and dab it in the lid of the powder, just so that I get all the excess off, and so that I'm not putting on a glob of loose powder on my face. So I'll just stipple it in there, tap it off, and then I'll just go around in circles, kind of just buffing it into my skin. Sometimes I'll press it depending on where I am covering, and so this brush is really good at delivering product. Not a lot stays in the brush, which is really nice. It's not dense like the kabuki brush, but it does have quite a few bristles. But this is really good for loose powder, kind of just delivering that all over your face. A lot of girls will use bigger face blenders, but I really like this one just so that I can get in every nook and cranny of my face when I am using my loose powder. So I absolutely love this brush for loose powders. But those are the makeup brushes that I use for my face, so I'll show them all to you really quick in a row. These are the brushes that I use on a day-to-day basis to kind of cover up my whole face. So I'll use this one with my Bye Bye Redness from IT Cosmetics, and so it's kind of like a concealer, but this angled brush is also really good for contouring. If you want to use it for contouring, it's really good. And then I use my kabuki brush from Sigma, the F80, for my foundation. I'll stipple it on the back of my hand and then kind of just stipple it on my face. And then my face blender from Bobbi Brown is really good for loose powders, kind of just swirling it all over your face, buffing it in, and covering your whole face. So these are the brushes I use on a day-to-day basis for the face. So the next brushes I'm going to show you are brushes that I use for my cheeks. So my contouring brushes, my highlighting brushes, and my blush brushes, because I love brushes. Yeah. Awkward. So I'm going to start with my contouring brushes because that is what I start with first after I'm done with all of my face makeup. So the first brush that I use for my contouring is by Benefit. It comes with their Hoola bronzer and it's this little guy. This is basically a mini version of the Ita brush from NARS that is always sold out of stock. But this brush actually doesn't come separately from the bronzer, but the Hoola Benefit bronzer is a great bronzer. I love it. I hit pan on it a while ago and I still have product left, but I absolutely love it and it's a great bronzer to get, even just to try once, and then you get this brush for free with it, which is awesome because then you can use this with whatever bronzer you have next, which is great. So instead of trying to run around like a crazy person trying to find the Ita brush, which I'm sure is a great brush, you can just get the Hoola Benefit bronzer with the brush, which is what I did, clearly. But I use this to contour. It is really small. I think it's really cute though. But this is a natural hair brush. I absolutely love it. I kind of just dip it in my product, and then what I'll do is I'll just kind of brush it along the hollows of my cheeks. It's really good for getting in there. If you guys want me to do a video on how I contour, like this video down below or comment and I will do that for you guys. But I use this brush for contouring. It's really good for that. That's what it was made for. It's tiny. It's really cute, and it's technically travel size, which is awesome. I use this one mainly on my cheekbones to contour. Sometimes I'll use this on my nose, and I'll just contour right down the sides of my nose, and a little underneath my nose, and then a little bit underneath my lip. This one, on the other hand, I use everywhere, so sometimes if I don't want to do a super contoured look, or if I know that I'm not filming, or I know that I'm not working, then what I'll do is I'll just take this, and so this is a duo fiber brush. So this is both natural hair and synthetic hair. The white hair is natural, and the black hair is the synthetic hair. And so what I'll do is I'll take this brush, I'll rub it in my bronzer, and then I'll kind of just sweep it back and forth along the cheeks. What I will also do is I use this brush to kind of contour my forehead, just kind of add a little bronzer up there along my forehead, underneath my chin. Sometimes I'll use this for the sides of my nose as well if I don't want to have a strong contour on my nose, and I'll just brush it underneath my lip and underneath my nose. This is also really good for blending out my contour. If it is really harsh, what I'll do is I'll take this with no product on it and I'll kind of just rub it around. It's really good at smoothing everything out, and I absolutely love this. This brush is from Sigma, and it is the small duo fiber F55. So this works well with both contouring and bronzing. So I love this brush for all of that. Then I have two brushes for my blush that I will use interchangeably depending on how strong I want my blush to look and depending on what blush I'm using. So the first one that I use is this brush. This is a nice fluffy brush. I have no clue what kind of hair this is. The fact that it's tipped white kind of throwing me off a little bit. I think this is synthetic. Not sure, but either way, it does apply the makeup really flawlessly. I use this for blush, and I'll just dip it in and then kind of just swirl it along my cheeks. It works really well. It's almost like a mini face blender, but less dense. And so this has less bristles than my kabuki brush and my face blender. But I really like it. I use this almost on a day-to-day basis. The next blush brush that I use is this one. I honestly have no clue where I got this brush. It has no label on the handle whatsoever. But I love this brush. This is a little rougher of a brush, which makes me think that it is a natural hair brush. But this grabs product really, really well, delivers it on the cheek very nicely. I absolutely love this brush. So it is more of a fluffy brush, and I just love it, and it does a really great job of kind of just blending everything out. You can also use this to blend your contour as well if you want to, if you feel like you need to. This would be a really good brush for that as well. Then I have two brushes for highlighting. One of them technically is not a highlighting brush and the other is. So I have this fan brush. So this is what a fan brush looks like. It's fanned, clearly, obviously. I think this is synthetic. This is from BH Cosmetics, as well as this one. This one is BH Cosmetics as well. But I have this brush. The fan brush is specifically created for highlighting the cheeks. A highlighter can be really strong, and fan brushes are really good for that because what you do is you kind of just rub it in the product really quick and sweep it along the tops of the cheekbones, and it just creates this light, beautiful, gorgeous highlight on the cheekbones. I'll also kind of sweep it like that if I want a little more strong of a highlight, and then I'll also kind of just sweep it down the bridge of my nose, along my forehead, top of my lip, and on my chin, just kind of even everything out and create a really nice glow. But this brush is primarily used for highlighting, and I absolutely love it. I think it does a great job. The next brush I use for highlighting is actually a foundation concealer brush. This brush, once again, I have no clue where I got it. This brush is, I'm pretty sure, a synthetic brush because it's orange. I'm pretty sure that there is no animal that has this bright of silk skin fur. This bright of orange, this orange bright fur. You guys know what I mean. But I love this brush for highlighting. It delivers a very strong highlight. So if your highlighter is really weak, this does a really good job of kind of just like packing it all on. And so I use this just for the cheekbones. I won't use it. I'll use it down the bridge of my nose, but that's about it. I like my fan brush for my forehead, lip, and chin just because it delivers a softer highlight and it's not super intense. But this is a really good brush for highlighting. So those are all of my face brushes that I use on a day-to-day basis. I really hope that this helped you guys. I am going to be doing a separate video for brushes for the eyes because I know it can get really confusing with eye brushes just because there's so many different eye brushes and it's really hard to kind of figure out what everyone does. So I'm going to do an in-depth video of that separate from this one, but I really hope that you guys like this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And please like this video if this was helpful for you, because I really hope it was. I know I might have rambled a little bit on each separate brush, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like it if it helped you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'd love to be able to teach you more about makeup and just kind of help you guys with any questions that you guys have about makeup or hair or products. So just let me know what you guys want to see next in the videos. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you liked it and that it was helpful. And like this video if it was. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye!